That was truly beautiful. Let's give her another hand. That was tremendous. Wow. Well, thank you, Karen, as we wipe back some tears. Thank you very much. And thank you all for coming tonight. We, of course, welcome back many of you who have been here at previous events, and we are thrilled that you have come again to celebrate this incredible gift that we all know as hospice. And we are delighted to see many new faces tonight. We know you will all leave tonight with some new knowledge and understanding about all of the services available to you and to those who are important to you. Life is a journey, and sometimes the most difficult parts are those last months before somebody dies. When a person is told that they have a terminal illness, when they are not expected to live more than 6 months. It can be a very difficult and a very scary time. They realize that they are on a narrow and winding road they have not ever traveled before, and they can no longer turn around. Hospice can help to clear the brush along the sides of the road, making visibility a little bit better. And they can alert the patient and family when there might be rocks or maybe some slippery areas up ahead. With hospice, traveling that road isn't nearly as frightening, and it can be, in fact, very enlightening. It can be a very enlightening time of all of your lives. That hospice team consists of many professionals: nurses, aides, social workers, chaplains, and bereavement counselors, as well as specially trained volunteers who all work together to support individuals and their families during the last months of life. They come to wherever the patient lives to provide the care, whether that be in the patient's own home, or a nursing home, or an assisted living facility, or even on occasion at the Meritus Medical Center. Hospice provides the adaptive equipment needed to help the patient be safe and comfortable at home, like a hospital bed, bathroom equipment, and also walkers. They provide the medications and supplies necessary to address the symptoms of the terminal illness and work side by side with the patient and their family members, helping them understand what's happening with their illness, empowering them to provide the care in their home when the team isn't able to be there, and supporting them through all of the emotions and all of the trials. In fact, I'd like to acknowledge the hospice staff and all of the volunteers who are here with us tonight. Let's ask them all to please stand. Would all of the hospice staff and volunteers please stand? Thank you. Thank you all, hospice volunteers and staff. Thank you all. We have several speakers who will be coming to share their stories tonight. I would like to personally welcome, and let's please all applaud and welcome her as she shares a very personal story with you about her experiences with Hospice of Washington County. Please welcome Mrs. Betty Roney. Betty?
Is this about right? Good evening. My name is Betty Roney. I'm here with our son John and our daughter Joanne in memory of my husband Bill and their father. Our other daughter lives too far away to join us this evening. The picture in front of me was taken during the 25th year of our 60th year marriage. Bill died about 3.5 years ago after a lengthy illness. We were under hospice care for about 10 of his last days. I remember when hospice began in Washington County. Working as a nurse at Washington County Hospital at that time, I was aware that a special area was set up at the hospital for hospice patients when and if they were admitted. I knew that hospice treated and spent time with dying patients, believing always that no one should ever die alone. Bill was a loving and caring husband, a devoted father, grandfather, and great-grandfather, faithful to his family and friends. He was a dedicated banker, served his community and his church faithfully, and supported them as best he could. He truly enjoyed the He truly enjoyed the game of golf and his association with his golf buddies, and in his free time made beautiful traditional furniture that we will always cherish. Bill loved life, had a great sense of humor, a good heart, and lived every day to the fullest whenever it was possible. Several major surgeries were necessary during the last 10 to 15 years of his life. Plus, he also had the need for continuous oxygen. No matter how difficult the surgeries were, Bill's first question to his doctor on that first day of recuperation was always, "When will you let me go home?" This was uppermost in his mind always. So I was not surprised, but very pleased when near the end of his life, his doctor stated, "I think now is the time for hospice." Bill listened, and he agreed that this would be best for both of us, knowing also that he would be home. This was when I truly learned what hospice was all about. To me, it meant peace of mind. I worked most closely with the hospice nurses, but I was always so appreciative of the concern and care of the chaplains and the social workers. During my nursing career, there were times, of course, when I assisted the dying, but on a busy nursing unit with many ill patients, sometimes a patient did die alone. It was not always possible to sit by their bed and hold their hand as we would have liked. This does not happen at home. Priscilla, a most competent and caring nurse, was in charge of Bill's care. Other nurses visited and took call. I knew that I had a nurse to call 24 hours every day, and that is especially important at night. In fact, I needed and called a nurse at least 5 nights of those 10. They were always so kind and so supportive. I would call and they'd say, "Well, I'll be there in about a half an hour." It wasn't so much what they did, it was what it did for me. 2 factors were most important to me. I always had someone to call and to come, and I trusted them because they knew these patients. They knew what to expect, what was happening, and that brought to me peace of mind. It was helpful to our children as well. They lived busy lives, but they were always there for us, coming and helping at my call. I often think how very different it would have been without hospice. Maybe I would have called an ambulance. Possibly we would have been sent to the emergency room. Or maybe I would have just fretted it out, not really knowing exactly what to expect or maybe what to do next. Keeping Bill at home with me was a gift to him but it also was a gift to me and to our family. So I am truly grateful to hospice. I knew that for me to move forward in my life, I needed to do all that I could to help someone else. So I attended the healing classes and then asked to serve as a volunteer. I had never used a volunteer because I had family here to help us as needed, but not everyone has this. I continue to serve in this capacity of volunteer with the hospice program. I serve in the home, a nursing home, assisted living, the hospital, wherever the need. I also serve at what we call the 11th hour, sitting with those who need us at the end of life. Most of us do not think about death in a positive way. It is a sad time for us, realizing that our loved one will never be here with us anymore. I spent much of my nursing life caring for new mothers and their new babies. Some may think it's strange that I now spend time with the dying, but I have never forgotten Norman Vincent Peale's comparison of birth and death. He said, "Let us think about the unborn baby. He's tucked away there under his mother's heart, so warm and so cozy. But if somehow he would have learned that he couldn't stay there, that would have seemed like death to him. And what to us is birth, to him it would be like death. But he is born into our world, and he leaves that wonderful place. Here he is cradled, though, when he's born. He's cradled in loving arms, loved by so many, cared with love, and others who help him to grow. Finally, when he's old, illness takes over and he dies. He dies to this world, but he's born into the next. He will awaken to find himself young again. Loving faces and loving arms will greet him. No more pain or tears, only beauty. Birth and death, joyous occasions for each of us. So for me, it is a privilege and an honor to be a participant and a part of birth and death. We will always miss Bill, but we know that we will all someday be together again. It all depends on our faith and our point of view. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much, Betty. That was truly wonderful. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have a special guest with us here tonight, and if you were here last year at this event, you heard him speak. He is an award-winning network anchor of Fox Network Television News. He is from Hagerstown, Maryland, a graduate of St. Maria Goretti, and he is going to be joining that award-winning singer, Karen Taylor Good. Let's welcome both of them to the podium for a special duet, Karen Taylor Good and Kelly Wright.
Well, last year when I heard the voice that came out of this man, I said, that's the voice we need next year on the duet.
Thank you.
So I'm delighted that you could do this.
And I'm delighted to be here as well. I have to tell you that I was here last year because of what hospice did for me and my family. One of my most precious gifts in life was my mother, June Lorraine Overton Wright. And when she left this world, prior to that, hospice was there to help us and to help me. You know, blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted. And it was a wonderful thing to know that hospice was saying to me, I'll be there for you.
So we're going to sing this song, which is oddly enough called I'll Be There For You. And we would really love for you to hear the voice of hospice singing to you. This is who they are. When the weight of the world is on your shoulders and you're lost as a child without a home, when the winds of change are blowing colder, just remember you're not alone. I'll be there for you. I'll be there for you. So if you ever feel that you're not enough, or if the road you're on is getting too rough, and going it alone has got you given up, remember, I'll be there for you.
When the rain in your heart is never ending, when the hole in your soul is all you can see, when the dark clouds above are never mending, you just remember you've got me. Oh, and I'll be there for you. I'll be there for you. So if you feel your life is just not enough, or the road you're going on is getting too rough, going into life alone makes you feel like giving up, but I'll be there for you. So just be strong, yeah, and just hold on, hold on. I'll be there for you. I'll be there for you.
So if you ever feel that you're not enough,
Or going down the road is getting way too tough,